In 2025, the government shut down. This left millions of low-income Americans without access to SNAP benefits as emergency funds trickled out to families.
As of November 17th, SNAP benefits have been restored, but food insecurity remains a prominent issue across Philadelphia.
We will be interviewing a CCP student, allowing her to give a personal definition of food insecurity based on her experiences.
Hi, my name is Peyton. I'm a cybersecurity student here at CCP. I live in Fishtown. Food insecurity to me means wondering when your next meal is going to come from. It's having to worry about funds or how you're going to afford your next meal, whether you're going to be able to pay your rent at the same time, and having to sacrifice potentially utilities, transportation, stress over work, over feeding your children, or just yourself. I think a lot about how food insecurity affects the people around me. My apartment is directly attached to the Luther Settlement House, so there's a lot of homeless people and people who struggle with food insecurity directly around me. I also used to live in Northern Liberties, which is not far from me, and around the Acme, I would always, especially at night, see people huddled up looking for food down at the bottom of the steps. And as somebody who struggled with food insecurity, I always, when I was working, tried to give out or do anything I could to help if I could afford it at the time. To me, one of the biggest causes of food insecurity is rising costs of living, but also as somebody who was previously on SNAP benefits, but also disability, that the moment you start making any, even full-time, they severely cut your benefits to around maybe $40, $75 a month, which really doesn't go far. And that's not even counting the amount of people who might make maybe $40,000 a year on a retail job, but aren't going to qualify for SNAP benefits. And even if they can manage to pay for rent, they're still going to struggle to put food on the table, whether or not they have a family to feed or not. Food insecurity, especially when you're as a kid, leaves a giant scar on you. I have so many memories of growing up as a kid where, because of food insecurity, we'd not have enough money to pay for the electric bill. And I have vast memories of just being huddled in the summer heat or in the cold of the winter in either the basement or the attic of our house, freezing, just trying to keep each other warm and to survive. Also, as an adult, it causes a lot of stress when you're working a job, not making enough money, and constantly thinking about how you're going to afford transportation to work, whether you're still going to have your health benefits, and having to have conversations with yourself whether it's worth going off of your employer's health insurance just so you can have a little bit extra in your paycheck so you can try and afford food for the month. Society views people who struggle with food insecurity with a lot of stigma. A lot of it's unnecessary. They don't realize that the vast majority of people who are on SNAP benefits are working, and now they're actually required to work in order to receive benefits. I also don't think society as a whole realizes how much people get with SNAP benefits and how hard, if not impossible, it is to really stretch those funds out in order to properly feed oneself. I also think along with that, nutrition and healthy eating are huge struggles in this country, and I don't think anyone can eat healthily on the amount of money they get off of SNAP benefits.
By hearing Peyton's experiences and struggles with food insecurity, it becomes clear that this issue is far more common and complex than many people will realize.
By talking about our experiences openly, we can break negative stigma surrounding our struggles, reminding people that needing help isn't something to be ashamed of.
To conclude, someone in your life may be facing food insecurity, and you'd never know if you aren't willing to keep an open mind.
Lastly, here are some resources in Philly to help with food insecurity, and if you are able to help, donate today.